You know, sometimes when I do these car videos, the lighting is like kind of awful, but today it's kind of nice. Like I'm a little backlit, but kind of stan this lighting right now. Hey guys, Carolyn here. I am here today to do a quick car chat video. I haven't done one of these in a long time. I haven't done a face video in a minute. I still have to film my 40K Q&A, so that's definitely coming soon, so don't you worry about that. I just haven't had a chance to like film it. I wanted to make a video today to talk about Aespa's debut. They're SM's new girl group, and I just feel like I have a lot of thoughts about them, and I didn't know where to share those thoughts, whether like on Twitter or Instagram or like the best place. So I decided to make a video about it. I am in my scrubs right now because I'm on my lunch break. I want to talk about why this debut like confuses me. So the first thing I want to say is that whenever one of the big companies debuts a new group, boy group or girl group or whatever, there is going to be a lot of hype around it. So SM announcing this new girl group was pretty hyped up, I would say. They hyped it up for sure. There were definitely lots of people talking about Aespa's debut, and still afterwards a lot of people talking about Aespa's debut. I personally was excited about the news of a new SM girl group because I love SM groups. I have probably stanned every single SM group since, who's like the oldest SM group I have stanned? Since TVXQ. So everyone since TVXQ I have stanned and or collected at some point in my career of being a K-pop fan. So especially SM's girl groups, I have collected every single one since SNSD, which I guess has only been 3. So this is the 4th one they've released since I've been a K-pop stan. But I had a feeling that I really was going to be interested in them in some sense. So I've been keeping an eye on the teasers. I wasn't like super closely following everything. I really just learned the girls' names yesterday. I knew like Karina and Winter, and that was really all I knew. I learned the other 2 girls' names yesterday, but their debut was yesterday. And first of all, their concept. SM, from what I've learned from being a K-pop stan and standing most of their groups, is a lot of the times they'll debut a group with a concept and then change that concept later. Like they'll decide, oh, this doesn't really work. For example, Super Junior debuted with a concept of a rotating group, the way that NCT is today, where they said every year someone will graduate and we'll add a new member, which isn't the same as NCT, but like that was the original plan for SJ. And then they trashed that and said, no, we're just gonna have a 13-member boy group. EXO was supposed to have a boy group in Korea and a boy group in China, and the 2 groups would never ever intermingle. Obviously that is not how they are now. The sound that all of their girl groups debuted with is very different from the sound that you hear from them today. Like every single girl group, most of the boy groups I would say have pretty different sounds. So what I've gathered from this is that if SM debuts a group and you hate the debut, just like give it a minute. And that kind of goes for like any groups, but I feel like SM is always so like set on this is our concept, and then they sometimes will trash the concept. So Aespa's concept was like AI members and also real members, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a big fan of AI. I just don't like it. I think that it can be kind of creepy sometimes. Not really a fan of cartoons in general. So when I saw that they were gonna have like AI members, I was like, okay, but like how much are we gonna use the AI members? Because yes, they released a couple of videos. That video of Karina and her AI, whatever, Karina talking was like a little weird. Like I liked the bits where Karina was talking, and then the AI person, I was like, this is really, I'm not sure how we're feeling about this. But it didn't seem like they used it that much in the actual debut itself. Like watching the music video yesterday, I'll get into how I feel about the song in a minute, but it didn't really feel like there was much AI in the actual music video itself, which I'm perfectly fine with. SM, if you want to just like pretend that that's a concept for a couple of comebacks and then trash it, like we're good with that. Like get the money that you spent on the AI characters paid back, and then we can trash the concept and move on, because that's how I kind of feel about the group's concept. I feel like I'm not a fan for sure. Definitely not a fan of the concept, but I wasn't a fan of NCT's concept when they first debuted. Like there's video proof on this channel of me like not being a fan of it, and now I'm like a fan of it. I mean, not like, I don't totally love the NCT concept still, but I stan NCT. I collect them. I collect 4 members from NCT, constantly fighting myself to not collect a 5th member. So yeah, there's that. As for the song itself and the way their debut was, so they released a digital single. There's no physical release for this, which is similar to what NCT did, and then similar to what Red Velvet also did. So SM's past 2 groups have debuted with digital singles. Because I count NCT's debut as like 7th Sense. That's like what I count as their debut, like that era. And then Red Velvet, obviously, Happiness is where I count their debut, because that is their debut. But the past 2 projects from SM have also not been like the full group, you know what I mean? So like Red Velvet debuted with Happiness and NCT debuted with 7th Sense, but they didn't really get physical releases. Red Velvet didn't get a physical release until their like comeback. They actually had 2 digital singles and then they had like a physical release, but that's where they added Yeri into that release, Ice Cream Cake, which is still a bop. I love Ice Cream Cake. And then for NCT, obviously they have their like multiple subunits. So when 127 debuted with Fire Truck, that's when they got their physical release. But they had added more members. There's not like the same people in the NCTU music video that are in the NCT 127 music video. Though I might be wrong about some of that because I wasn't paying attention to NCT around their debut. So I might be wrong with some of that information. Maybe all the members have been revealed, but they just like hadn't. Anyways, moving on. My point is that there's rumors going around that this is not the final lineup for this group. And personally, I don't know how Revelovs are going to feel about me saying this, but I'm going to say it because I've never actually said it on this channel, but I've always thought that when Red Velvet debuted as a 4-member group, I was like, I like them. I've always liked Red Velvet. I loved Happiness. I stan them from debut. I love Red Velvet. They're like one of my favorite girl groups. And I remember them debuting and I was like, I like them, but I feel like they're not a complete group yet. I feel like this isn't like the members. And there were rumors about them adding another member for Red Velvet too. I liked the lineup. I would have been fine with them continuing as 4 had I like never known of Yeri's existence. Like obviously love Yeri. I think she adds so much to the group, but that's kind of my point, is that I feel like they are a complete group with all 5 members, like with Yeri included. And I know that there was some like people were kind of upset when they added Yeri. They were like, oh, why would you mess with like the current lineup when they've already established themselves? But they were still so young and still not really like, they weren't really an established group, even coming from SM. Where was I going with that? I don't remember where I was going with that. Basically, my point is that I looked at Aespa. That was a long tangent. I looked at Aespa's debut yesterday. The song is okay. I like it more than I thought I was going to. I don't love the chorus, but I think the vocal capabilities of this group are incredible. Also, one of the reasons I became super interested in their debut was because of that video that SM posted of Giselle, is that how you pronounce her name? Giselle rapping, and I was like, this is an SM girl doing this rap right now? Like, that's pretty amazing that she's like really good. That's no shade to any other SM female artist, but SM doesn't really prioritize rapping in their female groups like at all, which is fine. Like, you don't need a rapper in every group. I 100% agree that you don't need a rapper in every group. Even boy groups, you don't need a rapper in every group. But I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. We've never seen someone like that before. So I'm kind of disappointed she didn't have like a rap part, but yeah, I like the song. I don't love the chorus, but I did find myself listening to it once yesterday morning, like when I woke up, and then when I got home from work last night, I was like, I kind of want to hear that again. So I think it's going to be a song that I'm going to end up liking a lot. I woke up with it stuck in my head this morning, so like obviously already there, but I got the same feeling that I got when I watched Red Velvet's Happiness music video, where I was like, I feel like this isn't the full group. Like, I feel like there are more people to be added, and then there's that rumor that they're adding 3 more members. And personally, I'm not a fan of even membered groups anyways. I think that it's really hard to make choreography that doesn't constantly cover a person with an even membered group. With an odd membered group, it's pretty easy because you can have like one person in the middle and then like the same amount of people on either side of them. Like with a 7-member group, you can have one person in the middle and then like 3 people on one side of them and then 3 people on the other side of them. So it's easier choreography wise. Not saying that there aren't cool choreographies by a 4-membered group, because that's not what I'm saying. My point is that Red Velvet looked complete as a 5-member group. And I don't think that SM would do a 5-membered group because of Red Velvet, because it just like, you can't debut you can debut a boy group and a girl group with the same amount of members next to each other, but you can't debut 2 boy groups or 2 girl groups with the same amount of members next to each other. Like, that just doesn't work. I think that is not going to be 5 members. I think that SM's not going to debut a new girl group for like a long time. So either this group is going to have an NCT concept where you can kind of rotate members, change up the concept, but I think SM would have said that by now, because the NCT concept is not a new concept anymore. Like, their NCT has become a established group in Korea this year, 100%. Looking at their album sales and how they're doing digitally now, I 100% think that they have become an established group in Korea. They've been pretty established internationally for a while, but this year in Korea was really good for them, so we stand that. But I think that if SM wanted to do an NCT concept with them, they would have said something already about it. They would have been like, this is the female version of NCT, and I feel like fans would have been okay with that. Because they haven't said that, I don't think this is the female version of NCT. I think this is going to be a girl group with their own concept. I don't think that they're done adding members yet. There's also this one screenshot that's going around on Twitter of this one scene. I don't know what any of the female SM trainees look like, but I guess there's this girl named Helen who may or may not be in this music video. And there's this one shot of the 4 girls, and then there's a 5th girl sitting next to, I can't remember who she's sitting next to, but she's sitting next to one of the members. And then there is like 2 other people who are pretty like clear that you can see in the photo, and then everyone else is kind of blurred, or like their eyes are covered, or like they're very obviously like just background people. Except for those 3 people seem like they're kind of also in the group, and SM hides trainees in music videos all the time, so that wouldn't be odd. Yeah, so overall, I think the song is good. I mean, my bias is probably Winter, I think, but Ning Ning, really stand her vocals. She was amazing. Also, she had some sass in that music video, and we stand that. Giselle and Karina, like, I really like all 4 of the girls, so it's definitely nothing against, like, I feel like they need more members, but I just don't feel like they're a complete group yet. So that's kind of my thoughts, and I just like wanted to talk about it, but I don't really feel like Twitter is the best place to talk about like a random SM girl group right now, because all I do is post about like Monsta X voting and streaming stuff, and then like Wano stuff, and then I don't know, Instagram, I'm still, you know, trying to be more active on Instagram, so follow me over there. I'm trying to post like at least every other day for the rest of the year, because I've been really bad about posting, and I've just been really bad this year about taking photos in general, just like in my life. So in 2020, my goal is to take a picture every single day, in 2021 rather, but for the rest of 2020, I'm gonna get used to just like, because I believe in starting New Year's resolutions on New Year's Day, but I also believe that you can start resolutions whenever. So I'm just gonna try to take like a photo every other day, just of like something I'm doing, even if I don't post it on social media, or like a photo for social media. So I just feel like I need more photos. I took like 3 selfies this year. So yeah, like people always post selfies on like Instagram and whatever and Twitter and stuff, and I'm always like, I have like 1 photo of myself because I never wear makeup. Like, I did my eyebrows today for this video. I did my eyebrows. When do I do my eyebrows? And I put on eyeliner for work. Who am I? But my nose is still messed up because I wear a mask all day. So yeah, that's just really my thoughts on the SM girl group. Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. What do you think about their concept? If you think SM's gonna keep that concept, I don't think they will. I think a year from now, we're not gonna see the concept really. And then also just let me know who your bias is. Like I said, I think Winter's the bias, but Ning Ning could also be the bias. But yeah, I'm excited to see what else comes out of these girls, because I'm sure, knowing SM, that we will get something else. But in December, we're getting Super Junior's comeback, so that's pretty exciting. And there's an IZ*ONE comeback in, oh my gosh, in December. Probably won't make a whole video talking about it, but I'm so excited for Aespa's comeback. Oh my god, I'm so excited. So freaking excited. But yes, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you thought in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.